Right, if we can have the official party go ahead and take their seats. Is he visible on the link? All right, we're going to make you move, sir. All right, thank you. We good? Okay. Recognition of military members who are retiring after providing outstanding service to their nation is one of the oldest traditions of military service. This ceremony will be a little less formal and a little more lighthearted than some. So, however, we do want to emphasize this ceremony still honors not only Colonel Hepner's significant service to his country, but also honors his wife, Erin, who has supported him throughout this long endeavor. So, joining us for this is, of course, his wife, Erin, and we are honored to have as our presiding official for today's ceremony, Colonel Jonathan L. Bingham, the commander, the 120th Medical Group. Okay. Now, if you haven't noticed, we changed uniform for the day, and I was supposed to wear an ugly sweater. So I apologize for not having one, so we came up with the best thing we could find.
Pokey for a day.
So, Colonel Hepner, I hope this works. We will now begin with Colonel Hepner's wife, Erin, who has agreed to give our invocation.
We give thanks today for the many years of service and sacrifice of Colonel Hepner in support of the United States Air Force, Public Health Service, and the Air National Guard, as well as the nation. We give thanks for his lifelong commitment to service, which will no doubt continue into the next chapter of his life. We give thanks not only for his journey, but also for those who have been present for him and who have supported him all along the way. Thank you for the impact Colonel Hepner has undoubtedly had on countless other service members as he modeled, mentored, and trained character, as well as his competence and commitment both in and out of the uniform. I pray that all of us gathered here today will be inspired by his career and achievements to seek to excel in our remaining time in uniform or civilian service, to be examples of integrity and excellence, to also finish the course well, as this airman has done. We ask for our Creator's blessings on this ceremony and all who are attending, and for those who are unable to be here. We pray that you keep all of us strong and vigilant as we advocate for the health and safety of our troops and nation, and for the cause of freedom and democracy worldwide. Amen.
Thank you for that. At this time, Colonel Bingham will read a short career summary and present an award honoring Colonel Hepner's distinguished service.
So I do have to preface the career summary by, I think we asked you for it and we didn't get one. So, and that's understandable because we wanted to keep this informal. So you have Chief Westy to thank for this, and I know that Chief Westy really wanted to be here today. This was something that she and Major Palmer and I felt really strongly about doing for you. Unfortunately, she's in quarantine right now, but I know that it meant quite a bit for Chief Westy to be here, and I do want to give her credit for your career summary. Colonel Hepner began his military career as a member of the Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets and received a United States Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps commission in 1988. After 4 years of active duty as a bioenvironmental engineer, or as anyone knows, with all the B's in our med group, a B, he transitioned to the Air Force Reserve. In 1996, he joined the 120th Medical Group as the Chief of Bioenvironmental Engineering Services. In 2000, he converted from the Montana Air Guard to the Washington Air Guard, where he remained a member for 5 years. In 2005, he joined the United States Public Health Service as a senior field engineer. After 5 years, he returned to the Montana Air National Guard and led the Bees for the next 7 years. In 2017, he was selected as the commander of the 120th Medical Group. In 2019, he left us prematurely to command the 156th Medical Group of the Puerto Rico Air National Guard. He officially will retire from there, but the Montana Air National Guard still claims him as one of our own. You'll always be a Big Sky medic, no matter what happened in Puerto Rico. You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. For meritorious service, Colonel Norman T. Hepner distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States while assigned to the Air Force. For the past 32 years, he passionately pursued making a difference, culminating with his final assignment as the 156th Medical Group Commander for the Puerto Rico Air National Guard. His expertise, energy, and enthusiasm provided the National Guard Bureau with the tools needed to safeguard water systems nationally. As a unit effectiveness and continual evaluation inspector, he promoted continuous quality improvement by identifying deficiencies and planning improvements throughout the aerospace medicine enterprise. Colonel Hepner strived to recognize and promote deserving members and took immense pride in improving morale through honest communication and teamwork successes. His early career was punctuated with environmental responses to 3 aircraft accidents, learning that preparedness is the key to success. Colonel Hepner placed great emphasis on the Air Force's core values and intertwined his early Virginia Tech Reserve Officer Training School pylons, the most important being that I may serve. He directly served the governors of Montana, Washington, and Puerto Rico, but was most proud of his long and enduring service with the Montana Air National Guard. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Hepner culminate a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself, the Air National Guard, and the United States Air Force. Signed, Norman T. Hepner, Commander, 156 Medical Group. Colonel Hepner is the only person I know that would push to be able to sign his own retirement meritorious service medal. Colonel Bingham will now direct the publishing of the retirement order.
Publish the order.
Please stand. Reserve Order number EK 3574, dated the 1st of May, 2020. Colonel Norman Thomas Hepner is relieved from current assignment and assigned to the Retired Reserve Section and placed on the United States Air Force Reserve Retired List, effective the 31st day of December, 2020, in the grade of Colonel, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. At this time, we would like to invite Mrs. Erin Hepner to join us for a presentation. We now present the Certificate of Appreciation from the Montana Air National Guard. It reads, For dedication and self-sacrifice in support of the Air National Guard, Erin Ruth Hepner has earned the respect and gratitude of all our members. To our country we give honor, to our state and towns we give security, to those who lend their moral strength, to spouses serving both of those noble causes. In the Montana Air National Guard, we give our warmest and sincerest thanks. Signed, Amber Westry, Chief Master Sergeant, Superintendent, 120th Medical Group. Jonathan L. Bingham, Colonel, Montana Air National Guard, Commander, 120th Medical Group. You're not allowed to leave yet. Chief Westy has selected a gift that we would like to give you. So she unfortunately could not be here. She really wanted to. So you're stuck with me presenting it in place. So you may please open it. Your husband told us that you like spending time out in the garden. So this is not actually for drinking.
I'm going to have to call her and ask what that's for.
I can explain.
Okay. Okay, good. Oh, I got it now.
There we go. There's a small decoration to go in the garden with a little dragonfly on it, and the dragonfly will glow in the dark.
Outstanding.
So Chief Westy would really wanted to be here, but due to COVID, so thank you. Colonel Bingham and Chief Westy have also prepared a special presentation for Colonel Hepner. Everybody gets a flag flown, a U.S. flag flown. We thought that, being Montana, we thought this might be a little more appropriate. So, this flag of the great state of Montana was flown over the state capitol in Helena, Montana on 11th November 2020 in honor of Norman Hepner. Thank you for your dedicated service to the Montana Air National Guard. Signed, Governor Steve Bullock, on the 11th of November 2020. And Colonel Bingham also has a gift.
Well, in keeping with the gardening theme, although after I purchased this, I asked, you came in today and said, how did you get here? He flew.
Don't let that on.
I don't know if anyone's ever seen Rambo, but it's a gardening tool, but it actually looks like something Sly Stallone would have used. But I don't know if they're going to let you fly with this, but we'll figure out a way to get it to you. But just I understand you do like to garden. I know when you left, you got that nice the iron or the metal work for the garden as well. So just wanted to present you with this because I know you're going to have a lot more time on your hands. So I appreciate that. And then the other thing is just Colonel Hepner really took me underneath his wing and was very, very helpful. And I remember I must have probably been your deputy for not even a few months, and you said, yeah, you're ready to act in my place because I'm not going to be here this weekend because you were probably out doing a big inspection for the Air National Guard somewhere. I don't think people realize, I mean, this gentleman here isn't just an expert. He is like the subject matter expert for the entire Air Force when it comes to being a bee and various things. So very inspiring. We were down in Mississippi once, and your name was like plastered over everything there. Everyone had such wonderful things to say about you, and so I appreciate everything that you did for me, helping me to prepare to be the medical group commander, and just wanted to say thank you. We did design a new coin. This was done with Chief Westy and Lieutenant Colonel Ford's design. You'll see some new things with the coin, but also some similarities to how we had it when you were the group commander. We're not supposed to shake, so we'll do it socially distanced. There you go. Sir, thank you for everything. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medical group would like to invite you to take part in an open mic and ice bath tradition, because I knew that was your favorite part, right? That we have a nice cold ice bath, you stick your hand in. Okay, please be seated. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, we actually did not prepare an ice bath because I know that you did not like that. I thought about getting the whole thing and bringing it up here, but decided not to. But we would like to invite some others to join us, and you can simply come up and share some parting words, maybe some stories, hopefully mostly true about Colonel Hepner. There are plenty of stories. And I'll probably take the opportunity to go last. But I will do the first one. The first to share sentiments is actually Dr. Ken Madsen, who, for those who don't know, was previously a dentist with our medical group and spent a long time with Colonel Hepner. And he, knowing he couldn't be here, he said, "Please express my regrets to Colonel Hepner for not being able to attend his retirement ceremony. It was one of the greatest honors of my career to have served with Colonel Hepner. He was always an inspiration to me for the dedication he demonstrated to the mission and his quest for excellence. But even more inspirational was his consideration and sincere commitment to the personnel he served with and commanded. When I look back and think of all the people I had opportunity to serve with, Norm always makes my short list of those with whom I truly miss." So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, anyone have stories they'd like to tell? Please come up. Please use the mic so that those watching YouTube can hear.
I wanted to go almost close to first, because if I don't get started, I won't come up. I'll be too shy. And that's what I want to say thank you for, is just your boisterous personality and good leadership. It surely helped me get out of my shell, and I really appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Well, I would seriously thank you for a lot of mentorship, friendship, and kind of teaching me the ropes as I came back into the Air Force from remote service in the Navy. But what I probably remember most fondly was our TDY to Washington, to Lewis McChord, and then your group disappeared. You guys went to California. It rained every day, all day. You all had beautiful weather, had all kinds of pictures on the beach. They came back for the last couple days, and the sun came out. And I don't know if you remember that, but you had created a running program. The bees were going to run, and they had to get up and run every morning. And there was some grumbling, but I joined the bees on the morning running program. And that was the highlight for me for an otherwise completely soggy couple weeks. Thank you.
So I just wanted to take a quick second to thank Colonel Hepner for everything. I came to the Med Group in 2013, and I was scared to death of officers, let me tell you. You come into the Med Group, and you guys are everywhere. He was the first person, one of the first two actually, to show compassion and the human side that I hadn't experienced prior in my career. He was one of the people to help set the tone for the way that I want to lead going forward. And up until a couple of years ago, I didn't know that I wanted to be here, where I'm at today. So I thank you for that. I think one of the prevailing themes that you'll hear today is mentorship. That through your career, you don't just have to mentor from peer to peer, that it can be from officer to enlisted, from senior NCO to junior airman. So as I leave, thank you for instilling those beliefs, those values, I guess, going forward. I won't forget them, and just know that you had a huge part in where I'm at now and where I might, go going forward. So thank you for everything.
Can't believe you're leaving, man. So there we were. 2 against 1,000. They were the toughest 2 we've ever met. Anyway, I'm going to miss you. You have been a phenomenal mentor. You've been somebody that I've want to be like when it comes to leadership, when it comes to interactions and relationships. And I wish you the absolute best. We've been through a lot for a long, long time. You'll influence me for the rest of my life. Gonna miss you, man.
Ugly sweater. Yeah. Colonel, I want to thank you so much for all your mentorship, your leadership, and your friendship throughout the years. It's only been a few years. You gave me the diamond. I remember that first meeting, first time I met you. It was at Applebee's. That interview was at Applebee's. From then to now, it's just been a joy. It's been a pleasure. And I was talking to someone just yesterday. We're talking about how you're just this fireball of positive energy that pushes us to break out of our shells, think outside the box, be innovative, and me especially, we all really appreciate that. And I look, yeah, that's exciting. And I know it's something you can't stop, that energy. I remember one time we were, was it Gulfport, Mississippi? We went, was it? We were in Gulfport 2 weeks. I was buying something at the commissary. We were there together, and you were waiting, and you were watching the line and how the checkouts work. And I remember you going talking to one of the cashiers about how it could be a better process. And I was like, that's our girl. But yeah, we love you. Thank you. Congratulations.
I just want to thank you for your leadership, just like everyone else. Colonel Hepner, you were in charge when I took on this position, and it was probably the roughest time in my Guard career. And if it wasn't for your positive leadership, I probably would not be here today. I remember you would always come in and you'll say, how's it going? How are we doing? And I would tell you, I want to cry. I'm failing. I don't know what I'm doing. And you used to just smile and say, no, you're not. It's fine. We can get through this. And honestly, sometimes I used to wonder, I'm like, does he know what I do and what I'm supposed to be doing? Because he shouldn't be this happy with my performance. But honestly, I want to thank you for that, because if it wasn't for that, I probably would have given up. So thank you for allowing me to fail, to learn, and to grow. And congrats on your retirement. Thank you, sir. I'll give you a little.
Oh, Colonel Hepner, there's been some really good days that I can remember clearly. And what I really appreciate about you is that you do say a lot of positive mentoring things to people, but you also say the hard things that need to be said too. And I got to tell you, I was comfortable, and I realized that, sometimes comfortable isn't always the best thing. And I just want you to know that your willingness to be truthful and to be sometimes a little bit hard on me actually made me a better officer and a better MSC, and I really appreciate that. And I wish you the best. Thank you very much.
Last chance. All right. There's a good chance it's going to be hard for me. First, a couple of presentations that we'd like to give you from the Bs. Okay. The first, and I'm sure you have one, but we wanted to give you one of the old B coins. So they have updated recently, and I know you spent most of your career in the old B field, and so we were able to get a hold of an old B coin that we thought you would appreciate. The other thing that we know that you will appreciate are peanut butter M&Ms. And that's okay. I think it's important for people to know that Colonel Hepner is an amazing ball of energy, but do not let him get hungry. Because then he just turns into an amazing little ball of energy that's angry, and it gets risky. And if you ever want a scary story, ask us about driving when he's hungry and angry. That, I think I saw my life flash before my eyes. So we thought we wanted to give you those. The last thing we wanted to give you, and I'd really like you to read it for the for those that are here.
Oh, I have avoided saying this thing through my entire career and preferred just talking to people. So when they do respirator fit tests, they're supposed to either talk, and this is what you give people when you don't want to be social. You tell them to read this.
This is by the Code of Federal Regulations. It is written in the Code of Federal Regulations.
It's not required, though. You just have to have the person talking, but when the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act like a prism and form a rainbow. Do I really have to read this damn thing?
You can keep it.
Oh, I get to keep it.
If the frame doesn't make it, that's fine. But on a more serious note, I have a lot to thank you for my own personal career and for what you've done for the medical group. I commissioned into the medical group in 2009, and I was a young second lieutenant who really didn't know much. I came from the maintenance world where, I kid you not, you are not allowed to open the hangar doors without being signed off first. And there's, a list of steps on how to do it. And so I was very accustomed to having a very specific data on everything that I was supposed to do, and having it written in technical order exactly what I was supposed to do. And I commissioned into the B world where the answer to every question is, it depends, right? There are very few hard and fast rules of the way things must be done. And I floundered for a while, and I'm sure that Colonel Hepner would tell you that when he showed up, there was a second lieutenant who wasn't doing hardly anything because he didn't know what to do. And you did an amazing job of mentoring and pushing at the right direction in the right times. And I find it interesting that I spent much of my time up to this point as a traditional guardsman, 1 weekend a month. And yet, if you ask my wife who my mentor is, it wasn't anybody I worked with full time. It was Colonel Hepner. And I had some great discussions with him about things that I needed to do, directions I needed to go, both civilian life and military life. And I will forever be grateful for the advice and direction you've given me. I know that I would not be where I am without your guiding hand and always pushing me to be a little bit better, to go a little bit outside my comfort zone and try something different. And I will miss you. And I truly appreciate everything that you've done. There are very few in my life who have done what you've done. So, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. I'd like to hug you, but I won't. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Colonel Retired Norman Hepner.
So I was coming out here really for the change of responsibility, and Chief Westy said, hey, let's have a little retirement. And I said, okay. I wasn't going to leave like Ken Madsen. In a lot of ways, we did him a little disservice, so I said, okay, this would be wonderful. I do appreciate it. I'm humbled by everybody gathering here. But what I told Chief Westy was, I really need to recognize my wife. She's done so much for the Guard. In the past 6 years, I probably have been away for 2 years of those 6 years. And she's held down the fort. And if you know me, you know I put all my energy into what I'm doing at that time. Went to Puerto Rico, put in all my energy. And she was there to listen to me gripe. And just hold down the house. When the furnace broke in the dead of winter in February, she calls me and says, it's freezing here. And I said, fix it? Which has always been my mentoring style, is telling people, you know, if you have the ability to do something, do it yourself. Yeah, I signed my award. You know what? I was the commander, and it's a retirement MSM, and I'm authorized. So, I mean, why should I bother somebody else to do something that they probably actually wouldn't do it as well as what I wanted to say? And really what I wanted to say is I have appreciated working with all of you. And nobody actually shared funny stories, so my wife doesn't know about the sip and dip. And well, I do. But to see people grow is really the greatest honor. And to know that you guys are continuing to grow people is more than an honor. It's a way to preserve our democracy. So you guys are out there in this COVID mess. Make sure that the person that comes after you is ready to take up the reins and carry forth our defense. So, because I want to actually, you know, live in a free United States of America when I'm 82 years old. So, counting on you guys to carry on the torch. And thank you. Thanks for my wife for being there for 30 plus years. And it's been an awesome experience. And Montana truly is what I call home. So thank you.
For a guy who can't stay anywhere more than 5 years, staying 7, actually 8 in, almost 9 in Montana, in the Guard, direct, straight. That's a record. Ladies and gentlemen, the men and women of the 120th Medical Group of the Montana Air National Guard are proud to have served with Colonel Hepner and wish him and his wife every success in their future endeavors. Thank you.